So let me call to order the teleconference meeting of the Building and Operating Committee of Thursday, January 1st, 2021. The time is 9:56 a.m. Before we begin, please be advised this meeting is being recorded. Madam Secretary, the roll, please.
Thank you. Good morning, everyone. Director Cochran.
Here.
Director Frederick.
Here.
Director Garbarino.
Here.
Director Rabbit.
Here.
Vice Chair Moylan.
Here.
Chair Terrio.
Right here.
President Parr.
Yes.
Present. And you have a quorum. And you also have on the line Directors Grosboll, Hernandez, Hill, and Maston, and Snyder is listening in.
Thank you. The standard announcement follows to mute your phones until after staff presents. And remember to unmute when we open up for directors' discussion, that is if you're going to speak. After staff's presentation, I'll ask for comments and or questions on the item. And if there are questions, the Secretary or I will call on you. After our discussion, we'll ask for any public comment before taking a roll call vote. Each page of the meeting packet is numbered on the bottom right-hand corner for ease of following along. And we'll start with item 3 on the agenda to authorize amendments to personal services agreements numbers 2014-B7, 2014-B8, and 2014-B9. Golden Gate Bridge Seismic Retrofit Phase 3B, Technical Review Panel Member Services. Staff report begins on page 3, and we have Chief Engineer Eva Bauer-Furbush on the line to present. Ms. Bauer-Furbush, take it away.
Mr. Chairman, members of the committee, the agenda item 3 staff report is related to the last and the largest phase 3B of the Golden Gate Bridge seismic retrofit project. Phase 3B involves the retrofit of the suspension bridge and the Toll Plaza and Lincoln Boulevard undercrossing structures. The district has retained HDR Engineering as a design consultant to develop a seismic retrofit strategy and the final design, and to prepare plans and technical specifications for the project. Because of the federal funding participation in the Phase 3B project financing, FHWA, Caltrans, and the Bridge District have implemented a project oversight process that results from the federal aid program requirements. The project oversight process includes technical reviews of the project design and its plans and specifications. These reviews will provide the basis for FHWA and Caltrans approval to proceed with the project construction. One of the elements of the technical review process is involvement of an independent technical review panel consisting of engineering professionals with expertise in seismic, ground motions, behavior of steel structures, retrofit of major steel bridges, and in complex marine construction. The district formed the TRP panel by executing professional services agreement with 3 technical experts, Mr. Michel Bruno, Mr. Carl Frank, and Mr. David Nash. To date, under the oversight of the technical review panel, the design consultant has established the retrofit strategy and has developed retrofit details and technical specifications that conform to this strategy. In 2018, the board approved the use of the construction manager general contractor procurement method for the construction of the Golden Gate Bridge seismic retrofit Phase 3B project. The CMGC method is consistent with Section 6970 of the Public Contract Code. CMGC is a project delivery method in which a construction manager is chosen by a project owner to provide pre-construction services during the design phase. We call it a pre-construction phase of the project, and if agreed to by the construction manager and the project owner, the construction manager then will provide construction services as a general prime contractor during construction of the project. During the pre-construction phase, the construction manager acts as a consultant and works collaboratively with the designer and the owner to identify risks and provide advice on constructability, cost, time-efficient means and methods, work sequencing, construction work access, price, and schedule. Currently, the engineering staff is preparing a request for proposal to select a CMGC. After the selection process is completed, I will bring a recommendation for an award of a construction manager contract at a future committee meeting. Meantime, consistent with the project oversight process, reviews of the project plans and technical specification by the technical review panel will be required to continue during the pre-construction phase of the Phase 3B CMGC. Specifically, the TRP will be reviewing any proposed new or changed construction details and construction material details to assure that such changes or additions do not alter the approved retrofit strategy. To continue the TRP services during the Phase 3B pre-construction phase, staff recommends that the Building and Operating Committee recommend to the board that the Board of Directors authorize the execution of amendments to professional services agreements with Mr. Michel Bruno, Mr. Carl Frank, and Mr. David Nash, each amendment in the not-to-exceed amount of $100,000 as presented in the staff report. The TRP members will be compensated for actual time expended and expenses incurred. The budget for the Golden Gate Bridge Phase 3B CMGC project number 1923, in the amount of $9,861,844, 100% federally funded, is included in fiscal year 2021 Bridge Division budget. Sufficient funds are available in this project budget to finance the proposed amendments to professional services agreements with the TRP members, each amendment in the amount of $100,000. So with this, I'm available to answer any question the committee may have for me.
Thank you, Ms. Bauer-Furbush. Do any of the directors have questions or comments on the item? Hearing none, Madam Secretary, is there anyone from the public who wants to talk?
We will pull the public line again. When we started the meeting, there was no one speaking on this item, but we'll try one more time just in case someone joins late.
Okay.
We have no speakers on this item.
Thank you, Madam Secretary. So can I have a motion on the item?
So moved.
Thank you.
I'll
And a
second it.
Very good.
I'll second it.
Thank you, Jerry. Madam Secretary, please do a roll call vote.
Thank you. We have a first from Director Frederick, and we have a second from Director Cochran on item number 3, starting with Director Arnold, because we are a committee of the whole. Absent. Director Frederick.
Yes.
Yes. Director Garbarino.
Yes.
Yes. Director Grosboll.
Yes.
Director Hernandez.
Aye.
Aye. Director Hill.
Yes.
Director Maston.
Yes.
Director Moylan.
Yes.
Director Rabbit.
Aye.
Director Stephanie. Absent. Second Vice President Cochran.
Yes.
First Vice President Cheerios.
Yes.
From President Parr.
Yes.
Yes, thank you. The motion passes unanimously. Thank you.
Thank you. So item 4 on the agenda is the status report from board appointees. To the Sonoma Marin Area Rail Transit Board, staff report with a link to the SMART website is on page 9 of the packet. President Parr or Director Garbarino, which of you would like to go ahead?
Thank you. It will be Director Garbarino today.
Director Garbarino, please.
Thank you, President Parr. The highlights of yesterday's board meeting were that we elected Director Rabbit as our chair and Director Parr as our vice chair. In addition, we covered, and will continue to cover, but especially at our February 3rd board meeting, a mid-year budget overview and covered a bit what the process will be to adopt an annual budget covering fiscal year July 1, 2021 to June 30, 2022. One of the other strong efforts that were highlighted yesterday were the effort to review activities of 2020 and to set goals for 2021, goals and challenges. And just to highlight, one of them was the freight update, and it covered legislation status, federal approval status, the review of potential new policies, review of potential new marketing strategy, and review options for providing freight service in-house or contract out overall. The other was a review of the Welcome Back campaign, and in that presentation, again on goals and challenges, it covered strategies, marketing, incentives, and partnerships. All of these items from this effort to set these goals and challenges will roll out over 8 sessions with the board and the public naturally. And I've got my notes here. I want you to know I've done my homework. But let me just review. The other item I wanted to mention was that we approved a contract for insurance brokerage and risk management consulting for a total amount of $440,000. So it was a very full and successful meeting.
Thank you, Director Garbarino. That sounded thorough. President Parr or Director Rabbit, do you have anything to add?
The only thing I have to add is that we welcomed a new SMART member, Susan Gorin from Sonoma County.
I think we
Chair
Sorry, go ahead.
Terrio, if I could, there's one thing that I did not mention. We are also going to be reviewing, there's been an extensive effort on listening tours, and they've happened actually in every jurisdiction and in every interest group that affects, that is interested in SMART and affects SMART's usage. So those will be the reporting back of those listening tours, which I thought were very effective and comprehensive, will also take place.
Thank you for that. Director Rabbit, were you going to say something?
No, I think Director Garbarino covered it well. I think we have 2 more local mayors and council member appointments to let I know Kate Cullen, the mayor of San Rafael, will be joining our next meeting.
Oh, very good. Okay. Are there any board members who have comments or questions for our SMART representatives? Hearing none, that's it for item 4, except for public comment. Do we have any public comment, Madam Secretary?
We have no speakers on this item.
Okay. So no action being required, just being just informational. We'll move along to item number 5. Staff's report on engineering projects begins on page 11. Ms. Bauer-Furbush, it's yours again.
Mr. Chairman, members of the committee, my written report is before you, and I'll be happy to answer any question the committee may have for me.
Thank you for that. Any questions from the directors for Ms. Bauer-Furbush?
Mr. Chair, Director Cochran has one.
Yes, please go ahead, Director Cochran.
Ava, I'm looking at your last page of your contract time expended. I see that our suicide barrier has got 2 days to go. Are we going to extend that, or what are we doing with that particular? I know it's going to be another 2 years, but what have we done to extend that contract?
So the contract will not end until the contractor completes its work. We are
Right.
in dispute with the contractor about the causes of this delay. And as I reported at the previous meetings, basically the district position is that the delay is caused by the contractor. Of course, they disagree, but in the meantime, the work on the project progresses. So, yes, it is unfortunate that we have not get the project done by the contract completion date that the contractor sign on, but the work is continuing. So as a result of this delay, right now the district position is that at the end of the work we will be assessing liquidated damages.
Okay. And would you how are we doing with the struts and everything going up? Are they pretty well done with that now?
So most of the net supports on the suspension bridge are already in place. Right now, the contractor is focusing on installing work platforms necessary to install the net supports on the north back span of the suspension bridge and also on the north approach viaduct. And also we have deliveries of the net from the fabricator. The net's been delivered to the Richmond yard where it is stored, waiting for its installation. So all these accesses that contractor is working on right now are necessary not only for the installation of the net supports, but also the net itself. Also, we are working with the contractor on their ideas of the work plan for the installation of the net to assure that it complies with all the requirements and we get a good quality final end product.
Okay, thank you.
Thank
Madam
you,
Chair, I had a follow-up question.
Go ahead, please, Director Cosmo.
Thank you. Ava, I'm just curious. I realize the sale of Shimmick again to Oracle Capital just happened, and I realize the advisory committee will probably discuss this in more detail, but have you seen any changes at all since that sale, recognizing it's a relatively recent sale?
Yes, we met with the management, and management basically moved. It is the same management of Shimmick that it was before the sale. We have reconciled with them the issues of bonds that are secured for the project, and also will be receiving the new certificates of insurance because of the change of the ownership. And meantime, I want to be optimistic. Maybe this will change the company approach to this project. We've seen that they will be reinforcing the field staff by bringing experienced manager from the project they completed down in Southern California. So I want to be optimistic. I'm optimistic that, we may have a new, better way to move forward from now on. But the time will show.
Thank you.
Any other directors with questions for Mr. Arthur-Bush?
Mr. Chair, may I be recognized for a question, please?
Yes, please go ahead,
Director Hernandez.
Yes,
Thank you very much. Through the chair to our Chief Engineering Officer, Eva, I wanted to thank you for your report, as usual, very thorough, and appreciate your italicized notes at the end. I always go to those. Looking at, again, the time expended chart on the back of your report there, looks like we have 2 contracts listed that will go over and need extensions, significant extensions. However, the Novato bus facility looks like it's wrapping up according to your notes, and certainly the Port of Madera tidal marsh on the punch list looks like we're going to meet the contract time allotted. I had one question relative to the Novato bus facility notes that you have on page 34. There's a note there that says that the contaminated soils have been removed, and you confirm that the remaining soils conform to the cleanup level criteria. Can you tell me a little bit more about the cleanup level criteria? Is there some authority that establishes that criteria, or is that criteria that the district has established? Thank you.
So the district is under order from the state agency that it's with the authority to oversee the cleanup level, and we're complying with the authority.
Can you tell me what state agency that is?
So this is, gosh, I'm having to block out.
If I may, Ava, it's the Regional Water Quality Control Board.
Yes.
Right.
So we are in compliance with the standards that they set.
Yes, that's correct.
Okay, thank you very much. And how many more days do you anticipate the Port of Madera tidal marsh restoration project to go? If that could get within the contract working days, that would be great, and the contractor is deserving of accolades. Thank you.
Right. So I think that we will go through the end of the contract time. The majority work is done, but there is all what we have to do now. We have to observe the plants that have been planted and the watering, just to assure that the work that was put in place remains in place. But basically, it's been quite a successful project.
That's great, and timely also with the with the new planting and the season, and that's well done.
Right.
Thank you very much. Thank you,
Right.
Mr. Chair.
Yeah, I would like to provide one clarification about this emergency San Francisco ferry terminal repairs. The reason that we need to extend the contract time is because the San Francisco Port Authority requested that we include repairs to the portion of the ferry terminal that's been damaged by the accident. Originally, the port wanted to do repairs themselves, but then they requested that we do it under our construction contract. So for this reason, we're negotiating with our construction contractor to include this work. So this is not because the contractor did not work fast enough. It's because that we have to add this additional piece of the contract.
Thank you very much. I realize that there are a lot of forces out there in controlling agencies that affect our ability to see projects delivered on time. Thank you very much for that explanation, and thank you for everything that you do, and please thanks to your team as well. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you. And by the way, I note that a lot of the port's crews are busy out on the pier where the Jeremiah O'Brien was tied up that burned, so that may explain why they've backed off on doing the repair at the ferry terminal. Are there any other directors with questions for Ms. Dauer-Furbush? I will remark also for Director Cochran that the completion date that gave 2 days left was actually the 10th of this month, as I recall. So we've already blown past those 2 days. Are there any public? Is there anyone from the public who wishes to comment on this item?
Thank you, Chair Teria. We have no speakers under item number 5, and we have no speakers for public comment.
Thank you. That would be then it for this meeting. And I will ask for a motion to adjourn. Is there anyone who moves to adjourn?
So moved.
So moved, Mr. Chair.
I hear two, so I'll count one of those as a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye. You don't need a second. I don't think you need a second.
That's all right. We got it anyway, Jerry.
All right.
All opposed. Nobody opposed. That concludes this meeting, and it is now 10:21 a.m. Thank you.